comfortable with your camera on, fantastic. If you want to turn your camera off, that's also a-okay. Full screen, you guys. Okay. I'll turn my camera down just a tiny bit. I'm starting my playlist now. It shouldn't be loud enough to be disrupted, so you should be able to hear it. Oh, I need to mute you guys, so we don't have lots of crazy feedback. My bad. Great. And if at any point you need me or you can't hear me or anything, I let you have the capability to unmute yourself. So if you need to say something, let me know. And just finding a comfortable child's pose on your mat and just allowing your fingers to walk out in front of you. You can spread the knees as wide as is comfortable for you. If you prefer to sit up on a block, that's also a good option. But we're going to try to really get into the shoulders, get into the armpits, really get into the upper body, the chest, the heart today. So beginning to tune into the breath, just first bringing awareness to the breath, noticing how the breath feels. And then eventually beginning to take a ujjayi breath. So inhaling deeply through your nose and exhaling through your nose, keeping your lips pressed together. So ujjayi breath should make a somewhat audible sound, just like the waves of the ocean. And we can begin to bring our breath together here as we inhale for the count of 3, 2, and 1, and exhale for the count of 3, 2, and 1. Inhaling again for the count of 4, 3, 2, and 1, and exhale for the count of 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then as you're ready, just beginning to bring some movement into the body. You can make your way into a tabletop shape. So coming to hands and knees towards the front of your mat. Maybe just moving the hips gently from side to side, just moving any kinks out of the body if you've been sitting at a desk today or on the couch, whatever it is that you've been up to. And we'll just spread our fingers really wide here. Make sure there's a little bit of space between the knees as we move into our cat-cow. So allow the belly to soften, allow the chest to shine forward, gaze high. And then exhale, tuck the tailbone, press down through the hands, gaze towards the knees. Inhale, cow pose, chin up, chest up, seat up. And then exhale, angry cat, round to the back. 2 more like that. Inhale. And exhale. The last one with your own breath. And then as you're ready, we're going to begin to move into our shoulders. So we'll press down through our left hand, and on an inhale, reach the right hand high. Sweep the right hand under, coming to a threaded needle. So beginning to walk the left fingertips forward, I like to just walk them as far away from me as possible, stretching out my left armpit. Continuing to ground down through the legs here. So not taking any half binds or anything super crazy, but if you'd like to challenge your balance, maybe you begin to step out the left leg. If that feels okay, bring a little more weight into the right shoulder, and maybe you hover the left foot up off the earth. Again, just options. You can leave that left knee planted on the earth. 2 more breaths. Release that left knee down. Draw the left hand back towards the face. Reach the right arm up, and then extend it back down to the earth. Grounding into that right hand, we'll take it on the other side. Left arm reaches high. And exhale, sweeping it under. So again, taking a threaded needle, walk the right fingertips forward. Allow that right elbow to float up off the earth. And you can either stay here or maybe you take that balancing option, extending the right leg out long, just coming to the ball of the foot, or floating that foot up off the earth to rest. And as you're ready, let that knee come back down. Right hand by the face. Sweep that left arm high. And bring both hands down to the mat. Take 2 more rounds of cat-cow just to move through that. I'm just gonna let somebody else in. All right, so beginning to move through that cat-cow one last time. And then as you're ready, tuck your toes behind you. Lift your hips high. Finding your first downward facing dog of the day. And just let the head be really heavy here. So if you've been doing a lot of typing, a lot of work at your computer, even just watching a lot of Netflix, whatever it may be, you might be holding extra tension in the neck. So nod at yes, nod at no. And then eventually let the head hang really heavy so that you're not putting any effort into keeping the neck lifted. You're just letting the gaze drop back between the feet. With our next breath, we'll inhale forward, find a high plank. So just drawing the navel in towards our back body. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Glue the hands and feet down. And then press the hips back. So a nice way to measure out the distance of our down dog. We'll take that one more time. Inhale, ripple forward, high plank. On the balls of the feet, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Press back to down dog. Head is heavy again. Maybe you just begin to pedal out the feet, continuing to open up your hamstrings. And then with our next breath, we'll slowly walk our feet forward, coming to a forward fold at the top of our mat. You can reach for opposite elbows here. Again, let the head be heavy so you're framing out your head with your forearms. And then with your next breath, release your hands down and we'll find a flat back. So the hands can slide up, the shins, maybe they come to the knees or the thighs. Gaze forward and let the shoulders push back. Exhale, fold even deeper. Inhale, halfway lift, gaze forward again. And then think about shifting the hips forward. So instead of letting my bottom stick out really far, I'm actually drawing it over my hip points and really actively engaging through my toes. All 10 toes wrap into the mat like a little eagle's talons. Exhale, fold deeper. Bend the knees, ground down through the heels, reach up, rise up, and hands come to heart center. You can invite your eyes to close here, and we'll take a moment to find our intention for today's practice. So maybe you know what brought you to your mat. Maybe you're just looking for a little bit of exercise, or you're just looking to de-stress and relax. But whatever it is that brought you today, just let that guide you through the next 60 moments. Something that's been kind of resonating with me this week is this idea that, peace is not when we're in a place that is free from conflict, free from challenge. Peace is when we can kind of look at the world around us and see kind of the tumultuousness and the chaos and still remain calm. So maybe I encourage you to do that this week as well, and let that serve as for an intention for tonight's practice. We'll move into our classical sun salutations with our next breath. So inhale, arms reach. Exhale, hinge, fold all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift, stretch out the hamstrings. Exhale, plant the hands, step the right foot back, drop the right knee and tuck the toes. Inhale, arm reaches high. So check in here, make sure that you have proper alignment. So we want to have our left knee over our left heel. You need to wiggle your heel forward, feel free. And maybe it feels okay to gaze towards the fingers. One more breath. Release the hands down to the earth, tuck the back toes, find high plank. Drop your knees down, your chest comes down, slither onto the belly, cobra pose. We'll spend a little extra time here. So plant the hands under the shoulders, activate through the toes, press the toes into the earth, and then pressing into the hands, draw the elbows in. Start off nice and low, hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Tuck the toes. Come into tabletop and then find down dog as you're ready. We'll move nice and slow, taking a full round of breath here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, right leg lifts high. Bend the right knee, step the right foot through. Let the left leg come down, the toes untuck. Inhale, arms reach high. If taking the arms high doesn't feel good in your shoulders, you can always let them rest on the front thigh or bring hands to hips. So modify to your ability level and to where your body feels good today. 2 more breaths. As you're ready, the hands plant. We'll tuck our back toes and step our back foot forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine, stretch the hamstrings. Exhale, fold deeper. Ground down through the feet, reach up, rise up. Then hands can come to heart center. We'll take it on the left side with a variation. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pull your prayer down. Inhale, lengthen the spine, gaze forward. Exhale, plant the hands, left foot steps back. The knee drops, toes untuck. Inhale, arms reach. And then from here, we're going to drop our hands back, finding this kind of cactus low lunge. So if you can see my field goal arms from the side, you want to go there. And I encourage you to take a gentle back bend. Don't go crazy. We're early in the practice, but just lift the chin and then gaze up as much as is available. 2 more breaths. With your next breath, release your hands to the earth. Tuck the left toes, right foot steps back, high plank. Drop knees, chest and chin, Bhujangasana Cobra. Plant the hands under the shoulders. Maybe tent the fingers. See if you can press up a little higher. Elbows continue to squeeze in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release back down. Move to down dog and take a full round of breath there. With your next breath, left leg reaches high. Bend the knee, quietly step it through. Right knee comes down, toes untucked. Inhale, arms reach up. And with our next breath, we'll let those cactus arms come. And then we'll begin to gaze high, looking up towards the ceiling. Take 3 rounds of breath here. I'm just gonna let one more person in. One last breath. And then from here, the arms reach high again. Hands frame out the foot, tuck the back toes, step your right foot forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Heels ground down, arms reach high. Hands come back to prayer. Moving into sun salutations in A. Inhale, reach up, rise up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, plant the hands, step to high plank. Exhale, lower to low plank, elbows squeeze in. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Take 3 rounds of breath here. Try to find stillness. With your next inhale, look forward to the top of the mat, then step to the top there. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, fold back down. Grounding down through the feet, reaching the hands up high. Hands return to heart center. We'll take one more just like that. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. And exhale, hinge, fold down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step to high plank. And take your vinyasa through. Inhale, find your back bend. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. See if the heels can melt even closer down to the earth. And with your next breath, begin to step the feet forward. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold down. Root to rise, find that high prayer and bring it back down to your heart. We'll move into our sun salutations and be just taking 2 rounds here. So setting up for our chair pose, I like to draw my feet together and have a little gap in my heels. But if you feel like it's a more comfortable stance to have parallel feet, go there. Inhale, find your chair pose. And we'll hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And from your chair, fold forward over straighter legs. Inhale, lengthen the spine, gaze forward. Plant the hands, step back to high plank. And you can just press right to down dog, take knees, chest, chin, or a full vinyasa, your choice. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, hips lift high. With our next breath, we'll step our right hand behind our right wrist. Left heel comes down, arms reach high. And we'll sink into our warrior 1 here for 3 breaths. So relax the shoulders away from the ears, then really deeply into that right knee rather. And with your next breath, hands come right back down to the earth. You can take the vinyasa or skip it, and we'll all meet in our down dog. So upward facing dog into your down dog shape. As you're ready, left foot steps forward behind the left wrist, right heels come down, arms reach. Nice deep bend in that left knee. One last breath, inhale. Exhale, release the hands to the mat. Another option for a vinyasa. So in this down dog, again, trying to find stillness, spreading the fingers nice and wide. And just noticing those little voices in your mind. So if your mind chatter is telling you you're not strong enough or you don't have time for this, just try to ignore those thoughts and just come back to a positive place. Your body is strong. Your arms and your legs can hold you. You have enough time for just 1 hour of this self-care. As you're ready, gaze forward, step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, find your chair pose, let the hips sink. Arms reach high. We'll hold again here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, stand tall. One last sun B, we'll move a little quicker. Inhale, find your chair. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, spine lengthens. Exhale, plant your hands. You can take the vinyasa or move right to down dog. Maybe that knees, chest, chin option is helping you build your shoulder and arm strength. We'll all meet in a downward facing dog. From here, the right leg steps forward, warrior 1. And on the exhale, we move right back to down dog or take a vinyasa through. High plank down to low. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing. Left leg steps forward. Right heel comes down. Warrior 1 on this side. Exhale, release the hands, vinyasa through. Again, 3 breaths here. We're almost to our little water break. So just hang on a little longer, 2 more breaths. As you're ready, begin to make your way up to the top of the mat. Lift the chest, gaze forward. Exhale, hold down. Inhale, last chair pose. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release hands to heart center. Take a moment, wipe sweat, drink water. I'm gonna open a window. Whew. And we'll be right back in a minute. So as you're ready, just returning to your mat. I like to find my Tadasana pose, just a way to come back to my steady, even breath. So maybe you allow your shoulders to kind of roll down and back. The palms can face forward. You can just tuck the tailbone slightly under. Just lift the chin a little bit up off the chest. And maybe returning to your intention if you set one, or just coming back to the idea of remaining peaceful, remaining calm, although the world outside might seem chaotic or turbulent. And from here, we'll step our right leg out to the right side and then kind of shimmy our left leg out. I'm gonna do it a little differently just because it's easier for you guys to see me. Coming into our first warrior 2 of the night. So I have my bend in my left knee. So feel free to move however you need to do to make that happen. So we're bending into that left knee, and then as you're ready, let the arms extend out wide. So just kind of a note on this, as most of you guys know, because you've met me before, I'm super short, so I'm 5'3", but I'm taking up almost 80% of my mat. So I just encourage you to spread your legs super wide. It's gonna feel a little bit more intense, but you're gonna get more of a hip stretch and more of like strengthening in the glutes. 2 more breaths. As you're ready, flip the left palm, reach forward, and then radiate the hand back, continuing to bend into that left knee. The right arm can slide down the right leg, or it can sweep behind you, reaching for the left hip crease. 2 more breaths, move nice and slow. And then as you're ready, let that left forearm come to the left thigh. Right arm reaches overhead, but don't just squish your right cheek here. Kind of lift it up off the cheek. Find a little space in that arm and maybe gaze up underneath that right armpit. 2 more breaths. And then from here, we'll radiate back, but as you come straight through the left leg, so we come right into radiant triangle. Both legs are nice and straight. I like to let my right hand slide further down my right leg. 2 more breaths. And as you're ready, your arms come up to a T. If you have a block here, I do have one somewhere. Here we are. You can put it to the inside of your left foot. If you are blockless, you can always wiggle that right foot in if this feels like too wide of a stance. You can just heel toe that right foot into your comfort level. Again, if blocks are not available at your house, a tissue box is about the exact same size. You can still find paper products in America. So reach your left arm forward and then just hinge. So you'll notice I'm not touching my toes, I'm using the block, and that is A-okay. We do not have to touch our toes to feel this posture. So the stretch for me is along my right hip and where my kidney would be, and then into my right side body. 2 more breaths. As you're ready, let the left fingers float, engage the core, let the body come back up to center, and we're gonna sink back into the left knee. So I'm gonna steal something I stole from my yoga teacher. I did with my yoga teacher this week, Dorian, so if you practice with him, you might recognize this. We're gonna do these little teeny tiny micro circles. So I'm currently circling my hands back, but it's so little you can barely see the movement in my arms. So we'll do this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now go in the opposite direction. Now I'm going forward, still micro, teeny tiny circles. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep with it. We're gonna do teeny tiny flaps like you're a bird that's trying to fly, but your arms are like stuck in sand. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Straighten through that left leg. Hopefully you felt something there. Maybe your shoulders felt a little intense. Turn both toes towards me. And you can bring your hands behind your low back. If it feels better to grab onto the hips, that's a-okay. But otherwise, interlace the fingers behind the low back and then peel the fist up off your seat. We're just gonna stretch out our shoulders, stretching out the middle of the back. Let the body tip forward, lift the fist as high as you can. Take 5 breaths here, and again, head is heavy. You can shake your head gently, yes, gently no. With your next breath, release the hands down in front of you, coming to the floor. And I like to walk them out a little further, just bringing more weight into the balls of my feet. As you're ready, exhale, bring the hands to your hips and slowly inhale. Begin to stand back up, move really slowly so you don't get lightheaded. Beautiful job. We'll take that on the opposite side. So left foot stays just as it is, right toes turn out to the side, bend into the right knee. Let the arms come out to a T. Find your warrior 2 here. Move your feet, just settle in, and we'll be here for 3 breaths. With your next breath, reach forward with the right hand, flip the palm, radiate your warrior. So we keep that deep bend in the right knee. We just reach the right arm up and overhead, maybe gazing up at the right palm. 2 more breaths. Let the right forearm come to the right thigh, side angle pose. The left arm reaches overhead. And again, make sure you're not squishing your face. Lift it up off the face. You're giving nice room in that left shoulder. 2 more breaths. Keep the bend in the right knee. And then radiate back, but straighten through the right leg. So coming right into radiant triangle. Again, 2 breaths here. Arms come up, returning to our triangle pose. So allow the arms to come out to a T. Just make sure you feel like your stance is appropriate here. You can always wiggle that left toe in if that feels better and just slide the foot closer towards you, or use a block. And then as you're ready, reach forward with the right hand, tip over towards the right side. Just let the right hand come wherever it feels good. And then gaze up at the left thumb if that feels okay in the neck. 2 more deep breaths. And then letting those right fingers float. As you're ready, slowly come back up to center. We'll turn all of our toes towards the front of the mat or the long side of your mat. Hands can come to hips again, or if you want that shoulder stretch again, feel free to take it. Interlacing the fingers behind you, try to put the opposite thumb on top. Peel the fist up off the seat. Let the body come forward. Maybe this time your arms come a little bit farther to the earth. 5 breaths again. And then as you're ready, release your hands down to the earth. Find that nice flat back, but instead of coming back up, we're gonna turn over to the left side. So bend into the left knee, let the left toes point forward, and then come onto the ball of that right foot. So I'm coming into a low lunge or a low lizard lunge here. My left foot is to the left side of the mat, and my hands are in the same line as the heel of my foot. So if that doesn't feel available to you today and you have a block and you want to put your hands on a block, feel free to do that. This is a deep hip stretch. Otherwise, drop the right knee down and tuck the right toes. You can either stay here, or maybe you want to come down onto your forearms. We'll be here for 5 breaths. So it's a deep hip stretch. Continue to breathe through it. If you have a little discomfort, that's all right, but we just don't want any pain here. And then as you're ready, you can begin to frame out that front foot. So just walk that left foot closer to the center of the mat. And from here, we're gonna inhale back up, finding our low lunge, or kind of where we began in class. Beautiful. With your next breath, release your right hand down, and then we're gonna just sweep our left hand back, making these big hip circles. Not hip circles, shoulder circles. So reach your left arm back and then reach it forward. So you're moving it in a counterclockwise direction. 2 more breaths. And then we'll move in the opposite direction. So this time it's going clockwise, just like the hands of the clock. 3 breaths. Beautiful job. The hands frame out that front foot. Tuck the right toes behind you. And then we're gonna come into a standing split. So don't get too freaked out by that name. Just plant the hands and then let that right foot kind of come in. You can just float it 1 inch up off the earth, just like this. Or if you wanna come into a higher shape, continue to flex those right toes down towards you. Stand here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna just step back. Beautiful job. Everyone's okay? Everyone feels all right? We're gonna make our way into Malasana pose. So we're doing a little bit of hip stuff too, as we kind of move from one hip to the other. So Malasana, you might be up a little bit higher. Malasana is both heels planted. The toes can turn out to the side. It's also called yogi squat. So it is sort of what it looks like. If you don't feel comfortable and you want to sit on your block or your book, whatever it has, feel free to go here. We'll just be here for 5 breaths, just continuing to open up our hips. Two more breaths. If you were sitting on a block or a book, move that out of the way, and we're going to move into our lizard lunge. So walk your right foot to the other side of the mat. You might have to inchworm that left foot back. Right foot comes all the way over to the right side of the mat, and then the hands come to the left side of it. Hands are in line with the heel of the foot. From here, let that left knee drop down, toes can untuck. And again, if putting the hands on the earth doesn't feel good, maybe you just come up a little bit higher. Maybe you just kind of let the hands hang by the sides, rest them on the right knee, your choice. If you want to go deeper, you have a block available and you want to bring your forearms to that or to the earth, feel free. We'll be here for 5 breaths. If you're using a block or if you come down to your forearms, just move that out of the way. We'll frame out our right foot, so bring your right foot to the center of the mat. Bring your hands to either side. Beautiful, and we're coming to our low lunge here. Inhale, arms reach high. Maybe see if you can find that gentle back bend, lifting the chin just a tiny bit. And with an exhale, let that left hand come down. This time we're gonna begin to sweep that right arm up and back for 3 breaths. 2, 1 last inhale here. Have them moving in the other direction. So this time coming counterclockwise. 3 breaths. Wonderful. Let both hands plant towards the right foot. Tuck the left toes behind you. Lift that left knee up. And you can just hop that left foot in until you feel comfortable in your standing split. So again, the foot can be close to the earth. You can lift it really high. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that left leg down next to your right. So you're hopefully at the top of your mat again. Sorry, we did a little yoga twister. With 2 fists between the feet, and we'll set up for yogi toe lock. So for yogi toe lock, wrap your peace sign fingers around the big toes, bend your knees really deeply, and then let the chest rest on the thighs. So from here, I like to tuck my head, find a little bit of a throat lock, and maybe my head goes between my knees. And over time, I lift my hips just a tiny little bit. 3 full rounds of breath. Lean into the balls of the feet. See if the hips can lift even higher. With your next breath, inhale. Release the hands from the feet. And then from here, we'll come a little bit deeper. So either you stay with yogi toe lock, go to ragdoll, or go to padahastasana. The hands slide under the feet for gorilla pose. I love how this feels on my low back. So again, maybe my head comes between my knees. I bend my knees, my chest rests on my thighs. And then if it's available, straighten the legs a little more, but don't let the chest lift off the thighs. A little more weight in the balls of the feet. With your next round of breath, don't move the hands, but just gaze forward. So you can find that nice stretch along the back body. Sometimes if you do like a little angry cat there, you can feel it working its way through the spine. Beautiful. And then release the hands from the feet. We'll find a flat back one more time. Inhale. Exhale, fold down. Draw the toes together. Reach up or rise up. We'll make our way into some balancing poses at the front of our mat. So we're going to just take a tree pose first, but we're going to take it with cactus arms. So I encourage you to kind of find that opening chest version. So ground top through your left foot, let your right toes turn out to the side. And you can begin to draw your right foot into maybe a kickstand. Maybe it comes up to the calf. Maybe you give it a little help and it comes up all the way to the inside of the thigh. So once you've found your balance there, hands can remain at heart center. Or if you want to play with this kind of like open-hearted, open-chested version, take those cactus arms, lift your head, lift your gaze, open the throat, maybe find a gentle back bend. We'll be here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release that back down. Beautiful. You can walk out the feet. And then we'll move right onto the right side. So the right foot grounds down. Spread the toes really wide. Turn out the left toes. Left knee turns out. Again, maybe you come to kickstand. Maybe you come a little higher up, or you give yourself help and just make sure your hips remain nice and square. Hands can stay at heart, or they can reach high, finding those cactus arms in the gentle back bend. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Release back out. All right, one more standing balance on each side. We're going to take eagle. Eagle, I think, feels so good if you do a lot of typing or driving. Hopefully you're not doing a lot of driving, but just in case. So ground down through the left foot, and then we'll just take our leg variations first. So first one's just kickstand, right? So just kind of hanging out here, just so we don't topple over. If that feels all right, maybe you take standing figure 4. With this, you could sink into your hips and flex through the left foot. If that's okay, maybe you just do this really tight leg cross. If you're super flexy, you can wrap that foot around. I'm not sure if it's gonna happen today. Oh, there we go. And it grabs behind the calf. So play around with it. There's lots of different places along the way. And then since we have our right leg over, right arm comes underneath. Grab opposite shoulders. If that's okay, let the back of the hands touch. If that's okay, bring the palms to touch. Sink your chair down. Lift your elbows up. Pull your eagle's beak away from the face. We'll hold here for just 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release out nice and slow. We'll take it on the other side. So you can always just take those eagle arms anytime you need to stretch out the back body. Ground down through that left foot. Did I do left foot? Maybe I took the other way. Oh yeah, I did it the other way. Huh, my bad, guys. Ground onto your right foot. Left foot crosses over. Again, option here in kickstand or figure 4. Or if you want the full right leg wrap, it's sometimes harder on one side than the other. So pick your poison. Left arm crosses underneath. Grab the shoulders. Back of the hands touch or palms press together. And then once you found your spot, sink a little lower. Lift the elbows, pull the hands away from the face. Find that stretch in the back of the body for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release back down. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, hinge to fold. All right, we're gonna just turn ourselves around here. Take just one vinyasa if you want, or you can meet us right in down dog, your choice. So inhale, high plank. Exhale, low. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, downward facing dog, right into child's pose again. So in your child's pose, take your hands and make this kind of prayer shape, but let the prayer come to the back of your head. And then walk your elbows in even further and walk your elbows as far forward as you can get them. Just letting this open up the armpits. Take 2 more breaths. And then with your next round of breath, you can begin to press back up. Find your tabletop shape. We're going to take a pose called puppy pose. Puppy pose, I think, is one of the hardest poses, but I think it's nice to open up our heart, open up our throat. So I'll demo the best I can. All right, the hard part about puppy pose is you want to keep the hips stacked over the knees. I always want to like come forward, but if you can look at yourself in your camera, it's sometimes helpful to do that. So my hips are right over my knees. And then from here, I'm going to come down to my forearms. So it's kind of like, hence it looks like down dog, but you're coming a little lower. And then if you can come even lower, see if you can sink your chest to the earth. Sometimes my chin touches. You want to eventually get your chest down, but spread your fingers even wider. So my hands are as wide as the mat. I'm going to go even wider than the mat. Oh, geez Louise. Take 3 breaths. And slowly begin to make your way back up. So that puppy pose should have opened up your shoulders, should have opened up your armpits. Awesome, beautiful job. And we'll just make our way into pigeon pose. So I always like to come into it from my down dog shape. If you prefer to come into it from another place, feel free, but otherwise, you can lift your right leg high, bend your right knee in, draw your right knee behind the right wrist, and let the shin be as close to parallel as you can get it. Left knee drops down, left toe is on top. From here, you can come down to your forearms and then come down to your forehead. But again, I encourage you to take that prayer behind the head. So I create this prayer shape and I walk my elbows close together. If for any reason that doesn't feel good in your right knee or your ankle, you can take a seated figure 4. So I'll show you guys that here. It's just taking a seated figure 4, just getting that hip stretch on the right side. So once you've found a place that feels comfortable for you, we'll be here for 10 breaths. Let the body sink in. Return to your steady, even breath. And with your next inhale, just returning to the hands, you can walk them in towards the body. Beautiful. And then we're just going to roll onto our right seat and turn our body around. So I'm just turning into my Janu Shirshasana, right? Usually we swing the leg around, but today we're turning to the leg. A little different. Inhale, arms reach, and exhale, hinge to fold over that leg. So if you have a strap here or a men's tie at home and you don't need to run and get it, you can wrap it around that left foot and just let the forehead get as close to the left knee as possible. 2 more breaths here. And with your next round of breath, you can begin to come back up. We're going to take a gate pose, so sweep that right hand behind you. Use your right knee as a kickstand. And just reach back, gaze at that left palm if that's available in your body. Beautiful. And then just release that left hand to the earth, and then we'll just make our way back into down dog. So down dog at the rear of the mat. Feel free to pedal out the feet. If you need to lift that right leg high, take a little hip circle, you can do that too. But then as you're ready, we'll return to our down dog. We can lift that left leg, bend the left knee in, step that left foot forward, not the forward. The knee comes forward, and then the shin comes to the top of the mat. My apologies. Slide that right knee away from you. Untuck the right toes, make sure they point straight back. And if you know you're going to figure 4 on this side, if you have knee or ankle sensitivity, just begin to go right there. Otherwise, walking your hands down. See if you can take that prayer behind the head in this pigeon pose. So open up the heart, let the chest melt to the mat. Releasing your hands back down to the earth. And we're going to just roll over, taking that Janu Shirshasana. All right, so I'm kind of facing a little away from you. I'm just going to wiggle myself closer towards my computer. There we are. So right leg is extended out long. Left knee bends in. Get the left knee as close to the earth as you can. Inhale, sweep the arms high. And exhale, hinge. Fold over your right leg. Make sure the shoulders are square. If you can easily reach your foot, slide the fingers down to the heel. Otherwise, grab onto the calf, the ankle, the knee, wherever it is you can take hold. Relax the head. Take 3 deep breaths. And with your next breath, return to your seated shape. This time, sweeping the left hand behind you, press up onto that left knee. Find your gate pose, gaze back at the right hand. And then as you're ready, both hands come to the front of the mat. We'll come back into our down dog shape. Beautiful option for one last vinyasa here, so we'll take it nice and slow. You've done this with me before, you know I do a little counting. So hold high plank for 3, 2, 1. Low plank for 3, 2, 1. Upward facing dog. 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. 3, 2, 1. And then just letting yourself come into a comfortable seat. All right, beautiful. So I'll turn to face you. You can let the legs come out long. You can find a gentle bend in the knees and sweeping your hands underneath you. So maybe you draw the head to that place between the knees. Just let that create like a little bench for you. Just let the low back release. You're gonna just let the upper body be heavy here. So we're just gently releasing our low back, not an active stretch. 2 more breaths. Begin to roll back up, and we'll set up for tabletop or reverse tabletop as a counter pose. So plant the hands behind you, fingers point in towards your seat. Ground onto the feet, stamp them down, and then inhale, lift the hips up. So I always like to shift from side to side to open up my shoulders, right? I know that's not the point of this pose. The point of it is to move through the hips. But for me, it feels like not only I'm playing crowd soccer, but it also just feels so lovely in my shoulders. 1 more breath here. And then release your hips back down to the earth and take a regular Paschimottanasana or forward fold. So begin to flex in through the feet. Inhale, reach your hands high. Hinge at the hips. Maybe the forearms come to frame out the shins. You can begin to send your chin, your chest, even closer to the legs. Folding into your deepest place. 3 breaths. And with your next round of breath, begin to make your way back up. I'll swing my legs around so I'm with you. You can reach your hands out in front of you and then slowly make your way onto your back. So we haven't done a lot of twists today, so we're gonna do some supine twisting. So options here just to take a regular supine twist, or if you wanna go a little deeper, we've done a lot of hip stretches. So if you're doing that, you would take a figure 4 leg. So cross the right leg over the left, flex through the right toes, and then let that fall over to the left side. Reach the right arm out long. Gaze at the right fingers. Maybe close the eyes if that feels okay. 3 deep breaths. With your next breath, let the legs return to center. If you've crossed them, uncross them. Plant that right foot down. Left leg crosses over, flexing through the foot. Move my block out of the way. And then just let your legs come over to the right side. Left arm can reach out long. I like to place my palm down on the earth just to really tap my left shoulder down. And return to the steady, even breath here. Beautiful. And as you're ready, legs come back to center. We'll squeeze everything into a tiny little ball. Maybe you give yourself a rock from side to side. Just massaging out the low back. And then eventually making your way into your Shavasana pose. So maybe today the soles of the feet plant on the earth and you just let the pelvis tilt up to release any tension in the low back. Or maybe you prefer traditional Shavasana, letting the arms extend out long, the toes falling out to the sides of the mat, and just rolling the shoulders back and down. The head is fully supported here. Just finding a place where you can be still, where you can let the body rest, where you can really let the practice sink in, finding all of its benefits. We'll spend the next few moments here in silence for some rest and some peace. And slowly beginning to make your way back. You can bring tiny movements into your arms, maybe wiggling out the fingers, the toes, maybe finding little circles, the ankles and wrists, and then reach the arms overhead, rolling over to your favorite side. And then taking a moment there to be still. Finding gratitude. So being grateful that you took this hour out of your day for self-care. Gratitude that you have a body that is capable of a yoga asana practice. Gratitude that you are safe, that you are well during these uncertain times. And then just coming to your comfortable seat. The hands can rest on the thighs, palms facing down for grounding and a firm foundation, or palms facing up to find acceptance, to allow your heart to be open. If you set an intention for today's class, returning to that now. Otherwise, I'll just share these words with you. Peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart. With your next breath, you can bring your hands together at heart center. We'll close out our practice with a single sound of Om. Inhale deeply. Exhale, side out. Inhale for Om. With your next breath, the thumbs can come to the third eye center, the place between the eyebrows, the place of intuition. The light and the teacher inside me honor the light and the teacher inside each and every one of you. I thank you for sharing your breath, your energy, and your practice with me this evening. I bow to you. Namaste. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to unmute you, so if you need to talk to me or ask me questions, you can do that. Here we are. Unmute. All right, hello, I can hear you.
Hello. Boy, I'm out of shape.
She's saying,
It got dark.
Everyone okay? Everyone did all right? Your shoulders all right?
my shoulders feel amazing.
Good, I'm so glad. Cool. All right, well, if you guys have questions or concerns or need anything, let me know. Otherwise, I'll probably try to do